In addition, I'm going to be recording this webinar, so if you missed something at any point, it will be sent out sometime later today. So let's get started. So the first thing is we improved the integration with Repairshopr for TechSuite. So what does that mean? Well, a lot of you guys requested that we improve the integration in order to add the ability to sync over different kinds of report views. So if you didn't know this, if you upload a report from TechSuite, you have the ability to customize that report's layout. So for example, here's a report that I uploaded, let's see, here's one 8 days ago. You can see here that it says how many tools to run, how long it took, and it says what alerts are occurring on the system, and then it gives you a full detailed list for each tool that we ran. So we made it a while ago so you could customize those reports and make your own layouts so that they only have the things you wanted in them. So for example, this is the same report but with a customer facing layout. So it removes some of these metrics, it removes the alerts down there, and then it just summarizes the tool names. So this is a little more customer friendly. You can show this to a customer and not feel like you're giving them too much information. So what you guys asked us to do was make it so you could sync these new report layouts over to Repairshopr. So what we did was we made it so you could go to the integrations page, and in the Repairshopr section now, there's a drop down here. So you can choose which report view you want to send over. So right now I have it sending over the customer facing one instead of the default. So you can see here, if I go over to my Repairshopr account and I go to tickets, you know what, actually, here's what we can do. We can run a queue with TechWire and I'll show you that it syncs over. So I think I have a demo preset somewhere. No, I don't. So let's run some random tools here. All right, and I'll click run. And you notice that I have ticket number 4208 selected. And that, of course, has to correspond with a ticket on Repairshopr. So I have a ticket here on Repairshopr 4208. So we'll wait for a second for this to run through its tools. And at the end, we're going to get a report that will be uploaded to Tech Portal. And once it's uploaded to Tech Portal, what it's going to do is it's going to sync over to Repairshopr, and then you'll see it under that ticket. So we'll just give it a second here. And I believe if we go over to the reports page, that'll be helpful. Actually, I might have one here. Let's go over here to 4208. I believe I have one that I synced over a second ago because it's taken a while to upload the report. So here we have one that I uploaded at 9:09. Oh, that is the report that we just got. So we can go ahead and click View Report, and now you can see that report that I just ran over here on Repairshopr. And it's the customer-facing report that you'll get. So that's what's nice about it. So that is a nifty integration, and it will hopefully help you improve your workflow and automation in your shop. In addition to that, we added an integration for Kabuto. So for those who don't know, Kabuto is our new product. It enables you to help your customers come back to your shop. Basically, the way it works is when you're done servicing your customer's computer, you install Kabuto on the machine, and then they will have this little icon in the system tray here, and they can click that to request service. So they can request service there, and then you can get a notification saying that you should contact them. In addition to that, it will pop up a small notification when it detects issues. So it can detect hard drive issues, or if their capacity is running low on their hard drive, all kinds of things. Let's see here. Here's an example. So here are some of the things that it detects. In addition to that, we've created a lot of other integrations that are pretty cool, one of which is Repairshopr. So if we head over to the settings page here on Kabuto and go to integrations, you can see that the first integration we've added, and we have some more in the pipeline, but the first one that's really cool is the Repairshopr integration. And the way that that works is you enter your Repairshopr subdomain. So in our case, let's see here. In our case, the it's just RepairTech Solutions, and then the API key we would enter here. And the cool thing about this is when you get a request, so when somebody requests you to service their computer, it will show up here, but it will also show up as a lead on Repairshopr. So let's see what that looks like. So we'll go over here to leads. It looks like I have some new ones. And here's one from Gerald Moffett. And we can see the details here. So it says new request on Kabuto. And that way we can go ahead and call them. And when we're done with that, we can just process it. So it's a really simple integration. It automates everything for you. And that way you can go to Repairshopr and see that you have leads. So that's pretty much it for the new integrations. We were really excited about it, and Repairshopr made it really easy to work on them. So we appreciate that. So we have some questions here, and again, if you do have any questions, feel free to go ahead and ask them using the questions box. The first question is from Eric. He says, is there a way to email quotes to customers instead of sending them an actual invoice, then actually converting the quote to an actual invoice? Thanks. Troy, I think that question's for you.
Okay. I thought so. Wasn't sure if you guys had quotes. So yes, you can. If you are on an estimate and that person has an email address, you can click to email it, and they can approve it, and you can convert those to an invoice. Those are, I think you'll see those buttons kind of standing out when you're on the estimates page. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. It's one of the more basic things that estimates do. You might have to turn on the estimates module if you don't see it, but just contact us if you have an issue with that.
Nice. Okay, we have a question from Jeff. He says, what are the free versus paid integrations that are available? Right now, my volume is not enough so that I can justify paying for TechSuite and Repairshopr. That's a good question, Jeff. So when you say free versus paid integrations, can you elaborate on that? Do you mean for, is that a RepairTech thing?
A couple of ours require people to be paid. Maybe that's ours. On our side, on the Repairshopr side, we do require people to be paid to get more than like 2 SMS messages a month, and you have to be paid to use Cloudberry and QuickBooks and Xero, and that might be it. We try and put them all in there for everybody.
Cool. Yeah, I was going to say I just put our pricing up for TechSuite. So if you want integrations, you have to be on the Plus plan, or the the $49 a month plan. So that will get you the integrations, and you get unlimited use of them. And all of them. With Kabuto, the Repairshopr integration is actually free, so you don't have to pay to get the Repairshopr integration.
Cool.
Let's see here. Richie asked, do these reports show up in Repairshopr's customer portal?
I actually don't know. Can you pull up one of those? And
sure. Hold on one second.
I have a feeling they don't, but you could go to that last ticket you were looking at.
Yeah. Where am I?
Go to the John Hancock one. Does this person have an email? No. Scroll down a little bit. View report. I kind of don't think so.
You can tell how much we talked about this integration before we did it. We kind of went gung-ho on it. We're like, all right, this would be cool. Let's do it.
We let like attachments be toggled to be visible in the customer portal. So like if the customer logs in, they can see stuff that you have made visible to them. And if that's something people want to see with the computer reports, we could probably do the same thing. We have a suggestion site where people could vote that up. If you guys want to get a couple people to vote on it, we'll probably get that queued up.
Cool. Yeah, that'll be awesome. Sean asked, will this be recorded? Yes, absolutely. It's being recorded, and we will send it out after the webinar is done. Paco, hey Paco, asks, will we have asset integration pulled from TechWaru or TechSuite to Repairshopr's assets section? Not currently. That's an interesting, I mean, we could totally do that.
You could. I think the API we'd probably tweak a couple things to make it easier for you, but I think we could. There's no technical reason why not from our side.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, we could, yes, that's definitely doable, but it's not currently being done. So I appreciate the feature request, Paco.
I think when some types of reports come in, we automatically create an asset. Just for fun, Ian, can you click that customer's name? And that'll take you to their detail page and see if they have any assets.
Sure.
No, it's empty. I'll look into that and see if it's a super quick thing to automatically do.
Cool. All right. Yeah, no problem, Paco. Eric asked, does RepairTech have virus removal and spyware removal? Yeah, I'll go ahead and show you what's in there. So TechSuite actually includes a bunch of different things. So you have access to three different things when you have TechSuite. You have access to TechWaru, which is a Windows application, and you have access to TechUSB, which is a bootable Linux environment for computer repair. And then you also have the online dashboard that you've seen a little bit of today. So it's these three things. TechWaru and TechUSB both have virus removal capabilities. For the sake of time, I'll just show you TechWaru. It contains over 300 commonly used utilities. One of the sections is malware removal. There's also pre-malware and post-malware. And you can see that we have quite a bit of tools here, a lot of which you've already heard of probably. So there are many spyware and malware removal tools in there. Does that answer your question? Did you want something more specific? And while we're waiting for Eric to respond, if you guys have any other questions, happy to answer them. So Eric says, does it update automatically? Yes. Well, I guess it would help to clarify what you mean by it. TechWaru has a built-in update system, so when we release a new version, it will prompt you to update, and then you click yes, and it'll update for you. So it does have an update system built in. As far as the tools themselves, we also enable you to automatically update them. It's very easy to do. It will do it automatically if you try to run the tool, but if you want to do it before you run the tools, you can just click this update all third-party tools button, and it will go ahead and do that super quickly. Let's see here. And Eric, let me know if that wasn't the answer to your question. I'm happy to elaborate. Nicholas asks, how easy is it to add in tools? It's very easy. You head over to the options page and you go to custom applications and you can add a new custom app. So the way that works is you just type the name of a tool in. You can either download the tool from a URL on the internet or you can browse locally for it. So I will choose this option because it's a little faster. And then you browse for the executable. So I'll just pick something random here for the sake of the demo. And then we can pick the category it's going to go in. You can give it command line parameters. You can randomize the application's name. You can choose which architecture and operating systems it works on. And you can have it pull logs and even tell it if it requires user interaction or not. And once you add it, then you can go to the tool section and go to the the category that you picked, and it'll be in this list. So it's very easy to add new tools. But like I said, it comes built in already with like 300 tools already configured. So you won't need to add all that many tools. If you do end up adding tools, feel free to let us know what you're adding, and we might be able to add it in by default for you. Michael asks, I am opening a shop in January of 2016. Who do I contact for setup and training on software and integrations? Well, I'll let Troy answer that for Repairshopr in a second, but for us, you can go to repairtechsolutions.com and you can sign up for an account. You don't need to do it. You don't need to talk to us to sign up for an account. You can do it all on your own. And then if you need training, we provide training webinars 3 times a week, and that's completely free. You don't even have to have an account. You can come in and learn how to use the software. It takes about an hour, and then you should pretty much know how to use everything. And if you want to have your technicians attend that as well, still free. We do them no matter how many people are there. So that's another way for you to ask questions and get answers to those things. Troy, you want to talk to them a little bit about how training works with you guys?
Yeah. We also have free sign up, so you can just go get an account and play with it. And we have a free tier, and we pretty much reach out to everybody to see how things are going and if they want any help. But we've got a help button in our app, and you can contact us, and we'll usually train every new account for some reasonable amount of time, no extra charge. So just contact us when you're ready. We have an onboarding person that'll get with you. It's a little bit more in-depth than maybe the RepairTech training. There's quite a bit to go through, but yeah, we have an onboarding person that'll do that with you, no problem.
Awesome. Nicholas asks, we use SuperantiSpyware, which works really great. Can we integrate this into TechWarrow to run as a part of the queue? You know, I haven't used SuperantiSpyware in a couple years, but I seem to recall that it had to be installed. Now, they may have a portable version of it, and if so, that would be a much better fit for TechWarrow. The reason we haven't included it is because their end user license agreement requires you to have a premium version for techs to use legally. So we can't really distribute it. But that being said, if you did have a premium license that you had purchased so you can use SuperantiSpyware, you can, I'm guessing, pretty easily integrate it into TechSuite if they've added a portable version. The issue is if they don't have a portable version, then the tool will probably only be able to install SuperantiSpyware, and then you'll need to run it. Let's see here. Kenneth asks, not sure if this is the right time to ask, but what new updates are expected for Kabuto? How far along is the managed antivirus feature? Yeah, no problem. I can answer that. So Kabuto has a lot of really cool stuff coming out. We're testing some features right now. They may actually come out today, but it'll definitely be within a few days. So we're testing out a remote access integration. So you'll be able to upload your, I'll show you where it would be. Here, if you go to settings, there's going to be an additional section here under the Repairshopr integration where you'll be able to upload your remote session executable. So if you're using Instant House Call or ConnectWise, or sorry, not ConnectWise, Screen Connector, something like that, Log Me In, you can upload your executable there, and then the client will have the ability to right-click on your icon, and instead of it just being these 2 links, there will be an additional link that says whatever you want it to say. So by default, it might say like request remote service or something like that. You click, the client clicks that, and then it runs your executable. So that would give you remote access. So what that would do is, in the case of your workflow, the customer would call you on the phone and say, hey, I need help. You say, okay, go right click on your desktop and click enable remote access, and then you would have a remote access after that. So it's a pretty easy integration to use. I anticipate you guys will ask, oh, what is that going to cost me? It's not going to cost anything extra. We're just putting it on there. So that is coming out soon. We're also coming out with language packs. I think we added 13 new languages, which is really exciting, and that's only for the Windows app though. So the website will not be translated yet. And I believe there was one other thing. It's escaping me right now. We are, to answer your other question, we are working on managed antivirus. Development hasn't started, but we've already done some planning for it, and we are going through the legal motions with a will be named in the future antivirus company. Jacob asks, what is the difference between TechWaru, Repairshopr, and Kabuto? Good question. I can see why that would be confusing. So the company I'm from is called RepairTech, and we make a product called TechSuite, and that helps you automate the computer repair process. Troy has a company called Repairshopr, and that's a CRM for repair shops. Did I do that accurately, Troy?
Sure. We usually say it's a repair shop POS and CRM or ticketing system.
Yeah. And Repairshop is super awesome, and they're one of our partners, so we like to do webinars with them whenever we release something new together. To further answer your question, TechWaru is a part of TechSuite, and Kabuto is a completely separate product that we just released. I hope that clears it up. If not, I'm happy to elaborate. Patrick asks, is the Activate Remote Access in Tech Portal Dashboard a recent new feature? I do not recall seeing that when I initially signed up. Yeah, we just launched that last week. We haven't really made a blog post about it yet. It's just kind of been sitting there, and I was hoping somebody would notice it at some point. It's pretty cool, actually. If you head over to the dashboard page, if you have something that is on the bench, so here, I guess I have this TechWaru open. Whenever you have an instance of TechWaru open, if you want to, you can activate remote access. And what that's going to do is it's going to download and run the startup executable here that you've uploaded. So if that is a remote access application, that's one thing. It actually could be whatever you want. It doesn't have to be a remote access thing. But when you click that button on the bench, it will run that. So that is a brand new feature. Good eye. Richie asks, can we use TechWaru to install Kabuto? It's kind of shameful, I guess, but we haven't added Kabuto into TechWaru as a custom app yet. I think part of the reason for that is it actually is a little more complicated than a normal tool in the sense that you have to supply your credentials. But one of the things we're working on for Kabuto is we're going to have a public URL for your installer. So you can provide that URL to your clients if you want them to be able to download your installer. But we would also be able to use that within TechWaru to add it as a custom app. Nicholas says, any plans for Kabuto to do remote support? Yeah, we're not going to build our own remote support solution, but like I mentioned earlier, we are going to be releasing an integration shortly that will allow you to upload your remote session executable here, and then your clients will be able to right-click on the Kabuto icon on the system tray, and they'll be able to run that executable, giving you remote access. Preston asks, how do we get Kabuto? You can just head over to kabuto.io. So it'll look like this. And you can sign up for a free trial. It's a freemium model, I guess. There's a free tier for up to 50 devices. The only difference is that there's no custom branding, but actually you do get custom branding. There's a trial for 30 days of it. So we don't say that on the pricing page, but if you sign up, you'll notice that you actually do get custom branding for 30 days. Okay, Jeff asks, as far as Kabuto, have y'all had any feedback as far as what people are pricing it as for an add-on service? You know, that's an interesting question. I don't actually know what people are charging for it. I know a lot of people aren't charging anything for it, and they just know that they have a higher likelihood of getting that customer back. But I've only heard of what people were planning on charging for it. I don't think I have any. I don't think I've had any conversations with people where they told me what they've already charged for it. So I actually am planning on talking to a bunch of Kabuto customers next week, so I will ask them about that because that's a good question. Dan asks, user of Repairshopr and RepairTech as well as Logic Now Max, GFI Max. Does Kabuto mostly overlap with GFI? Not yet, but it probably will. I mean, we think that the RMM space is really sloppy right now, and most of the products out there are pretty bad, and the pricing is not very good, and the technologies they're using are pretty horrible, and they're not intuitive to use. So there, our intention when we made Kabuto was to make a customer communication tool that was more of a sales tool for you. People kept asking us for RMM related features though, and so I mean, what are we gonna do? I mean, the customers want it, so we make it, and um, so it looks like customers want us to kind of compete with GFI, and understandably so. So we are going to have some things like managed antivirus, and looks like we're going to have managed backup at some point, but I don't know when. So there will be some overlap, but we're definitely not going to do all the things that all of the crazy RMMs do. I don't think we'll have anything related to networks. I don't think that we'll be doing anything on mobile. So there's a lot of things that we're not doing that they do, but there will be some overlap. Rick says, is there a discount for TechSuite subscribers who wish to purchase Kabuto? Yeah. Why don't I know what it is? I think it's 20% off, but I need to double check on that. Michael, who is our amazing customer service guy, who you've probably all talked to, says it's 10%. So Michael is always right, and I guess it is 10% off. Salim asks, when will Kabuto support Windows 10? I'm assuming that you are referring to the bug we had a while ago, where it wouldn't start up on Windows 10. Is that correct? Well, I'm just gonna, yeah, okay. We fixed that bug like 2 weeks ago, so it should work perfectly fine on Windows 10. The issue with that was a UAC related issue, and we found a workaround for it, and now Kabuto works great on Windows 10. Joseph, can you elaborate on what you mean by HIPAA compliance? And while you're doing that, I'll answer another question. Ryan asks, if my customer base increases beyond the initial Kabuto package, can we upgrade at any time? Yeah, there's prorating on it. So if you decide, or if you go over, let me see, got this thing in the way. Okay, so if you are on the growth plan and you go to 300 devices, and it's only been 6 months, we'll prorate you for what you paid for. So you're not going to waste any money, basically. You'll pay less than $249 because you only use 6 months of your 119 plan. Chris says, Kabuto seems perfect for a residential RMM solution more than for business. Yeah, you hit it right on the head. I mean, it's more targeted towards the residential space. There are so many RMMs for for the business space, but nothing for the residential space, which isn't going anywhere. It just seems to get neglected. So we wanted to initially focus on being really good at helping you communicate with your clients and make it affordable enough so that you could put it on residential machines. Matthew asks, do you plan on introducing a way for the customer to include a screenshot with their service request? Yeah, that's already on the dev queue. I don't know when it's actually going to be done, but I think what we're going to do is, and people have suggested like a hotkey, but I don't really like that idea because you never know what's installed on the computer, and we don't want to create an incompatibility for some other application. So I think what we're going to do is add maybe some other icon here where they can, or not icon, but like another list item here where they can click take screenshot or something like that, and then it would pop up the service request screen, and then it would have the screenshot attached. I think that would probably be the easiest way to do it, but again, that's not being currently developed yet, so we'll probably figure out a better way. Joseph says, can you sign a business associate agreement for doctors and dentists? I'm not sure exactly what you're referring to there. I guess if you mean that your clients are doctors and dentists and they require HIPAA compliance, we don't currently have anything in place for that, but I would love to hear what you require to be able to use Kabuto in those settings. So if you want to shoot me an email about that, I would be happy to discuss it with you. I will put my email address in the chat box, and you can email me whenever you want. There you go. Eric says, how do we keep track of how many customers we have on Kabuto? Well, if you go over to the Kabuto page here, and you go to devices, you can see exactly how many there are. So this is just a demo account. I only have 3 devices here. But you can see how many there are. You can also, if you go to the settings page and you go to plan, you can also see how many you have and how many your plan affords you. Does that answer your question? Cool. Looks like I went through all the questions. So, oh, no, there's another one. Okay, Paco asks, do we have a screenshot of how a pop-up would look like in Kabuto? Yeah, sure. Where do I have a screenshot? I believe there's screenshots actually on the homepage. So it would look something like this, and it would pop up right here. So you get your branding there. Your logo shows up instead of ours, and then it says what the issue was, and they can click request service. It also has your address here, and once they request service, the request will show up on your dashboard. Is that what you wanted to see, Paco? Yeah, you can head, and Michael makes a good point. If you want to watch the video tour or anything like that, you can head over to kabuto.io and learn more about that. Troy Rick has a question for you. He says, is there anything new and exciting coming from Repairshopr?
We do new and exciting every week. Let me think for one sec. So we've recently launched Domo quietly. Domo is a major big thing that we're going to do a little marketing push on shortly to like really announce to everybody. But if you've been in the App Center and you see anything with new featured at the top that maybe we haven't announced, we pretty much put it in there, let it sit for a little while, and then announce it. So Cloudberry is exciting. Office 365 is live and working and two-way syncing. Domo is really amazing. Kabuto just happened. That's pretty awesome. What else we got in there? iFixit, we're doing other supplier integrations. FormStack for lead stuff. We just always have a bunch of stuff going on. Oh, I've got something I can drop here. iOS. So we've had an iOS app out that we've not announced. Right now it just does payments. It lists your open invoices and allows you to pay them. If you used another announcement, Mercury Payments integration, you get pricing better than Square. They'll meter beat what you have. No monthly fees, no minimums. That'll work with our iOS app for swiping. And then our iOS app is just getting tons and tons of features. So right now we've got a build pending Apple approval that's going to add customer list, customer search, customer creation, and we're going to do invoice modifications shortly, and then tickets are getting added. So keep watching iOS for updates. I'd say every month or so we're going to add a new big module. It's been really flying.
Awesome.
Lots of goodies.
Doug and Paco both asked about the RepairTech Android app, and that is pretty funny. The Android app has always been on the back burner, not because we want it to be on the back burner, it just never seems to get done. And just 2 days ago, I think, Justin, one of our developers, threatened to make it this weekend. So I'm skeptical that it'll get done because it's been like 2 years, and something always seems to come up whenever we want to work on it. But you never know. It might be out Monday, so we'll see. As far as an ETA on it, I don't even want to give you that because I have no idea. What were you going to say, Troy?
I was reading too fast. The Android thing was for you. So our Android will come after we feel we've got some pretty good feature complete in iOS. We're using React Native, so we should just be able to spit out an Android version in a month or so, but we don't want to do it until we've got full-blown tickets and invoice modules done in iOS.
Nice.
Collections for Repairshopr. So the question is, in Repairshopr, do you have any solution for collections, like when the invoice is due? We have a awesome system that some others charge up to $50 or $100 a month just for this one module, but we just built it in. You get it for free. It's called Open Invoice Reminders. I don't think the RepairTech account has it set up, but I don't know if you want to try and get to it from more admin, maybe search the page for Open. Sure. Bottom left under Invoices. Yeah. So you can create a open invoice reminder and say when something is 30 days late, send an email, or when something is 1 day late, send an email. And you can do multiples of these, so you can bother someone on the 15th day and the 30th day and the 60th day.
That's really
lots of stuff in there about how you can do that rule. You can use our tag system from our template system. You can have them CC you, so if you happen to notice someone getting a few of these, you just know to take some real action. So yeah, tons of people using that. I think it works well.
nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, looks like we went through most of the questions. I think what we'll do is we'll stick around for another 5 or 10 minutes. If you guys have any other ones, we'll be happy to answer them. Just put them in there and we'll get them done. Who works on your Android and iOS apps, Troy? Do you guys have someone else that does it, or do you do it?
Right now it's myself and a contractor.
Cool. Our issue with it has always been that we have like 2 people who can do it, and they're always working on the web stuff. So it's kind of a
Totally.
yeah.
We've felt the same for a while, but yeah, we can sync on that. I'll tell you all about what we're doing.
Oh, question from Steve. He says, I want to start using this as a trial or the free tier. What's the best website to start with? Well, if you're referring to Repairshopr, then Troy can tell you that. For RepairTech, you can start off at repairtechsolutions.com.
Yeah, we can put all those URLs in the repairtechsolutions.com, repairshopr.com, Kabuto.io.
Yeah, there you go. So Troy put it in the chat box there for you. Troy, you see that question?
Hi, Nicholas. This question for Troy. I posted in a request form about integration with Be Anywhere. Got several upvotes. Robert asked me some info on the APIs. Do you know if there's been any movement on this over the past few months? I can tell you I have not looked at it. Max Focus had like 100 votes, and everyone's asking us for it. And I don't know if it's just you and your team voting on Be Anywhere, but last I looked, maybe months ago, it didn't look like it had a lot of votes. And I looked at their API, and it maybe a year ago, whenever it was first posted up there, and it didn't really look usable. But I'm happy to look at it again now and see what's changed. So I'll go do that right now.
Awesome. Patrick says, in Repairshopr, is there a way to say you received a remote support request? After the tech creates the ticket, send the customer or client the intake form to electronically sign in their customer portal. I know it's available in the custom widgets, but when the tech emails the intake form, it's just attached as a PDF. I don't know. Troy, do you know the answer to that?
Let me reread this real quick. I was already searching Be Anywhere stuff. Repairshopr. Oh, send the intake form to electronically sign. No. I can tell you my main thinking on why we haven't done that is just that any electronic signature thing that's out there in the world today usually has you like adopt a signature, adopt initials with text, click to say, yes, I'm adopting this, and then just click to approve. And we just haven't built that. It hasn't been voted up enough to be a priority over the other stuff we're working on. We probably will never do the, ask your customer to draw their signature with their mouse. Just like no one's doing that for a reason. People get confused and don't feel like they can draw it well and stuff. So if the other version of that does continue to get voted up, we'll probably do something like DocuSign where they click to approve and they get a little handwriting font that says, do you want to adopt this signature? And then click yes to approve. We do already have click to approve in estimates, so if you wanted to use that, I would think that's probably binding enough because it's only emailing to their email and they're clicking yes to click approve and it's secure. So there's a workaround by using an estimate and having them click to approve. But for the intake form, the only solution right now would be a custom widget. You can make a custom widget, put a ticket flow in, and then put an electronic signature step in, and you could have people go do that.
Awesome. Paco asks if Corey has been in contact with either of us for an integration. Yes. We have talked to Corey quite a few times. I know Repairshopr has as well. So we are working on an integration with Corey. As far as Kabuto goes, once we release the remote session stuff, you'll already be able to use Instant House Call within Kabuto. As far as TechSuite goes, we are going to have an integration. It's not out yet, though. And then I'll let Troy answer for his part.
instant house call for us. We have talked to them. It's just been a little slow to develop for one reason or another. For us, it always an API ready and documented, and we can just bang it out because we do those integrations pretty fast. But yep, that one is in a very slow planning stage.
Yes. Yeah, it's always interesting working with other companies because you get a roll of the dice with how prepared they are as far as documentation, and other things always come up, even if they're well documented. So even something simple can take 6 months to actually happen. Brian asks, are integration features such as public view changeable by any tech, or does this need to be switched by an admin? Integration features can only, I'm assuming you're talking about TechSuite because you said public view. Integrations can only be changed or removed by an admin account. So a tech cannot access the integrations page at all. As far as report layouts, to be honest, I'm not 100% sure how admins relate to that. I don't know if you have to be an admin to create a report layout. I'll have to ask our web developer, Eric. That's a good question. I guess it would only take 5 seconds to figure it out. But integrations, for sure, you have to be an admin. While we're on that, I guess admins cannot, admins are the only ones who can look at billing, change the technician settings, and change the integration settings, and change the custom branding settings. So techs can't access any of that stuff. All right, cool. Well, I think that was the last question. So I really appreciate you guys coming out. And Troy, thank you for coming as well. I know people appreciate the ability to ask you questions. This will be recorded and sent out later.
Cool. Bye, everybody.
See you guys later.